My friends, welcome to exercise 111 of my 200 3D CAD models in FreeCAD series. This is a pretty simple one. It will be one revolve to build this cylindrical circular part and another sketch for the base. Should be pretty simple. The only thing that we should be keeping an eye on is this hole which goes all the way through, so we'll have to make sure our model accommodates that. With that, let's go ahead and start working on it. I want to build the base first, which will be on this on the front face of the image. So let's go ahead and place it on XZ plane, right? So I'm pressing Alt on my keyboard and just moving the mouse without any clicking. So that kind of brings us to our front, and let's go ahead and bring the axis cross with AC on the keyboard. Now I want to move the image to match with the center of the workspace. I want to bring it in here. So that's our center of workspace matching with the image. Let's take the axis cross away. And now I want to start a sketch on XZ plane, right? I will start with a centered rectangle, or I'll probably go with rounded one, and then make it a centered rectangle by taking these 2 points and making it symmetric by the origin. So because we took a rounded rectangle, all these 4 corners are already equality applied. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one of those and then say this is 15 I'm gonna say 10 millimeter radius. Yes, it is 10 given here. All right, and I also want to make these two equal. That way it's a square, and then finally these two distance is 70 millimeter. Okay, the outside boundary is done. Let's go ahead and make these holes. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually apply the constraints right now, which is 7.5 millimeter. And now I can go ahead and make it a mirror on the and that way. So this constraint is already applied since we mirrored it, but this point is not fixed. So we'll have to go ahead and make these two at the same point. So that constraints. Now let me go ahead and take these two and take this axis and then make another clone. So these two will have to make it the same point. What I'm doing is, so there are 2 points. I'm going to go ahead and make these two 1 point. So that takes care of our whole 4 holes at the surrounding. I'm going to go ahead and take this middle hole taken care of, which is radius 11. Okay, so we got that. Now suppose we place our image on this cross section at this point. That way, in that case, this sketch will be at that point, and we move it up by 10, and then we move the rest of them from there. Or we can place this sketch at this point, at the dividing line between these two sketches, and take this one backward, take with this one front. So let's go ahead and actually make a name for this sketch. And so I decided I'll take it backward. So from here I'll take it backward, and on this one I'll go forward. What I mean by that is I'll extrude it 10 millimeter on the reversed side, so it takes backward. Now I want to build this extrusion on this face, but I want to change the image to here, which is, if this is XZ plane, now this one will be on YZ plane on this side. I'm going to go ahead and make this one on YZ plane, right? So that way this is now aligning with this image. I want to go ahead and transform the image one more time. Now on this one we could do this one too. So we could go ahead and extrude. So this is the base. We could go ahead and actually move this one as well. Here we could do that, but that one actually will mess up things, because if we bring back the axis cross, the origin of the object is right here, still here. So we'll have to keep that in our mind when we do the sketching. So that's why I do not recommend moving the object. So don't do that. Control Z and bring it back. Always move the image. Always move the image. That way the axis cross, the center of the workspace, is there. So the object is not moving, the image is. Alright, so we have our axis cross at this point. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw the sketch on a YZ plane. That's what this image is. And this time I'll be drawing the half part of this so that I could go ahead and revolve it. So I took the polyline, right? Polyline, and then I can go ahead and hit MMM. So MMM here. Oh, maybe I should come back to it. So here I come here to the vertical line, and from here, so hit M on the keyboard, and then the curve will come. So that way, hitting the M multiple times, it gives different modes of drawing. There. So here it's making a tangential by default. So I'm going to go ahead and hit M to make it a free line. Come back here. Alright, so drawing is done. I'm going to go ahead and hide the base. And first thing will be making these two tangential, right? And then making this one horizontal. Everything else looks good. Time to actually apply the constraints. So this hollow part is diameter 22, remember, so it's here. So the radius would be 11. Got that. So we have three different radiuses. So one's here, one here, and one here. So one is 30, 40, and 50. So the distance between these two would be 30 divided by 2, which is 15. And these two would be 20. And these two would be 25. Right. Now these two radius would be 10, right? And the overall height of the object, which is length in this case, would be 100. And now two more things to do. So we have 3 degrees of freedom. Okay. One of them is radius of this arc, which is 5. We got that. So 2 more degrees of freedom. And one of them would be this length, which is 30. Right? And then another one would be this length, which is another 30. Alright, so that's a fully constrained sketch. I'm going to go ahead and rename that sketch. I'm going to say this will be the revolve one. And then I'll be revolving it against this line, which happens to be y-axis. So I select on y, that changes the 0 to 1, and then this 1 to 0, and hit OK. So that's our revolve, and this is our base. Looks pretty good. And the hole is going through. We have the chamfer already there. I'm going to go ahead and actually make this to one piece and say final object. That's it. That is it. Very simple. Hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.